Hi, Bob Hui here with Wild Rose Toastmasters, and my special guest today is Ken Tanner. Ken has been a member of Wild Rose for a long time. He's a very experienced Toastmaster. So, Ken, I'm going to ask you the same thing that I've asked everybody else when I've done these interviews with. Tell us a little bit about your Toastmaster journey and tell us why you came to Wild Rose.
Wow, you're going to make me think back a while now, aren't you?
Absolutely.
I joined Wild Rose after moving to Edmonton in 2013. All my Toastmasters experience before that was in various cities throughout Saskatchewan. I actually joined way back in 1975, so I've got a
Wow.
few years under my belt and approximately 11 here with Wild Rose now. And I was working at a campus location in Moose Jaw as part of the Saskatchewan Technical Institute at that time. It's been evolved over a number of names over the years, but at that time, my boss was a member of the local club as well as our department head, and they encouraged me to come check it out. I had known of Toastmasters before during my college years. One of my roommates was a member, and so I knew of it. And at that time, I considered myself kind of shy, not very outgoing, and I only knew the immediate people that I worked with in my office and a few scattered other people at the campus. So I was new to the job at that campus for only a few months. So I saw it as a way to meet some people in the city
Yeah.
outside of my immediate work location. And it was be obvious that it would help me feel less shy in settings where I'm talking with other people. And it's worked.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I know I've known you ever since you joined. I joined a little earlier because I moved here in 2001. I think I moved to Alberta, and I joined as soon as I joined. I went to the convention in I think it was Regina or Saskatoon, and met somebody there, and he said, "Oh, come check out my club." And so I came in and joined,
Okay.
and I've been there ever since.
I'd
So.
actually been exposed to Wild Rose right from its first and beginnings. I, in my role with the district at that time when the Wild Rose was starting, I was the second officer of the district.
Oh, okay.
And during their charter ceremony, of which four other clubs were also presented their charter all in one evening up here in Edmonton, the international president came up from the United States, and as a senior district officer, I thought it was kind of a command performance to show up. So I was actually on site and part of the program when Wild Rose received their charter,
Isn't that
and
interesting?
having known and known of all the people in Wild Rose over the decades. So it was a really good and a fine choice for me to roll into Wild Rose when I came to Edmonton.
Well, it's funny how often when you meet people, I remember back when I met Neil Wilkinson the first time. I was on the district team, and he was the I can't sure if he was the president-elect or president. He came to District 21 and did a visit. So we were doing the thing, and I got to meet him. Who knew that eventually I would move here and become a member of his club? So it's
Yeah,
like I know you.
so you have to know your face.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Yeah, it's funny how that goes.
Yeah.
Because you think of that. I mean, at that point, I had no plans on ever moving to Edmonton.
Mm,
It's just I was happy living in BC, and et cetera, et cetera. So, life
yeah.
changes and you make a choice. And when you get here, part of that choice is okay, if I'm going to be here, I got to find a Toastmaster club.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and so who knows a good club? And there you go. But now you've been involved in Wild Rose ever since you've been here. Now I know you've been president at least twice because I'm following you as president. Carol, it was you twice, and then Carol, and now me. And so leadership is not something that you're strange about. I mean, you've been district governor, et cetera, international director. It's kind of like leadership has been part of your lifestyle in Toastmasters. So, as a leader, looking at Wild Rose, what do you see us providing that helps other people who maybe want to be better leaders?
Oh, it's why Wild Rose, kind of the substance of the
Yeah,
question.
Wild Rose. Yeah.
Well, as an advanced club, it provides something that people cannot as easily get in a typical weekly club, where those weekly clubs may only meet for an hour or maybe an hour and a half or so if they're fortunate to the time freedom. With an evening club that's once a month, we take the extra advantage of time availability and have a 2 to 2.5 hour meeting. So in that advanced nature, I know I started an advanced club when I was in my Regina, actually my Moose Jaw years, coming up the ranks. And at that time, people were looking for something where you could get a stronger analysis, a more in-depth evaluation, get greater coaching and mentoring and networking with people who either were seeking to improve, seeking to try out presentations, be it community, be it professional, be it Toastmasters. So it's really a forum for people to step their game up to another level. Many people like using this phrase of taking it to another level. And that's what I see in Advanced Club really, really providing that opportunity. And for those of us that are in an Advanced Club, it keeps us fresh because we have high expectations of ourselves. We're not about to be put on the pedestal without being called on it if we kind of like don't do our best.
Yeah, we got to keep earning it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's like your best speech is the one you hopefully did today.
Yes, my best speech is the one I thought about on the way home from the meeting.
Yeah, very often that's the case. The one I thought about, and then the one I delivered, and then I thought about, oh, I could have done this.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
three speeches thing, the one I should have given.
Yeah.
Well, it's like with me. I joined an advanced club in Vancouver, which is the same one that Inger was a member of for years. And basically, one of the reasons was, again, I wanted to raise my level because I joined Toastmasters to become a professional speaker, but also so I could give longer presentations. Because doing 5 to 7 minute speeches in a regular weekly club didn't give you a lot of range.
No.
And if you're going to do something where you're going to take it on the road, unless you block it out to say, okay, I'm going to do a series of 5 to 7 minutes and build that. It's tough to do. So you want to have something where you can try something a little longer and see if you can keep people's attention. And that helped. The other thing, like, for example, with Wild Rose, very often if I'm speaking overseas, like I did, I think at least 2 of the 3 times that I spoke in Paris, I tried out the speech at Wild Rose first and got some feedback, which made it better, when I was speaking in Paris, because I had a chance to work out some of the kinks and see if it made sense in English, because then hopefully it would make sense when they translated it.
There's a real challenge in a speech that's of an extended length. We get really comfortable in mastering that 5 to 7 minute window, but when you've got 20 or 30 minutes or more, it's another challenge to keep the content attractive, keep the attention, keep it moving. So that's what some of the advanced clubs provide through their extended amount of time availability. And so it really causes a person to have to step up.
And you get some really good, solid evaluation. I know, like in the Advanced Speakers Club, as in Wild Rose, there are certain people that are really good evaluators, and I love to get it when I get them, because I know they're going to push me.
Yeah.
And I need to be pushed. Because, well, it's so easy to get complacent when you've done it for a while, but you want to keep pushing it. You want to be like Michelangelo in his 80s saying, hey, I'm still learning,
Some of the things with the regular weekly club, if you're a veteran at a regular weekly club, you may have peaked according to the standards of the weekly club, unless you've got some strong evaluators there as well. And putting yourself into a fresh audience, like an advanced club, they don't know you. They don't know my style. They don't know what I usually do. And they will be very clear whether it's something good that I have fallen into or got into a habit of doing.
Well, and because we do that, we have little things that we do. I still have one thing that I still struggle with. It's in my fallback. I'm doing it here, but you can see it. I touch my fingers together.
Oh.
And
I-
I remember keynoting the the convention, international convention in Calgary when it was here back in 2008. And that's the one thing that Janet Barnhill, who was also, she was president that year, but she was also an accredited speaker. We got it at the same time. She called me on it. Bob, why are you doing that? I said, because they screwed up my thing and that's my fallback, you know? And so I
She
have to work.
knows. She knows. Yes.
Oh, she gave me the gears. She loves
Yeah.
me to pieces, but she no punches. I mean, that's and that's what you need. You need somebody that's going to push you to say, okay, here's what you're doing, here's something you're still doing, and you got to
Yes.
work.
Yeah. Keep
So
conscious of it.
yeah, well, I think we need to do that. We need to be that's I guess that's another reason why I say yes to some of these. When I first went into COVID, I hated doing Zoom presentations, but the nice thing about it now is I get invited to do, maybe at least one a month, which is a challenge because eventually I got to figure out where to put them all to finish a pass.
Yeah. Yes.
Like for example, this one I'm doing in Copenhagen, they're having me do two 20-minute presentations with a 10-minute question and answer at the end of it. And
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm having to prep for two different presentations that evening. So, and I'll
Hmm.
both evaluated, so they'll count for something somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'll have to sit down with Carol and say, where do I slot these in?
What home can I find for them?
Yeah. But so what's been the most fun thing that you've experienced as a Toastmaster? And especially, I guess, within Wild Rose, because that's what we're talking about.
Oh, fun. Well, the meetings are always entertaining. They're light-hearted yet but serious. So the atmosphere in the room just makes you want to come back. They're friendly, they're focused,
Yeah.
but there's an element of fun to it, and a little bit of gentle ribbing of people every now and then because we get to know each other so well.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's Wild Rose is one of its pieces of magic.
Mhm.
We just had a 40th anniversary event, this summer, and there was just a buzz in the room the whole night.
It was fun.
The so it's the atmosphere of the club and the people that are there. A lot of people will say to a person with so many years of experience and ask you why did you join, but then they'll follow up and say, well, why do you stay? What keeps you?
Yeah.
And the classic answer for so many people with so many years of experience is I joined to build skills and I stay because of the people.
Yeah, that's exactly my answer. People ask me after all these years, why are you still a Toastmaster? Because one, I'm still learning, and two, for the people.
Yeah.
I came because I wanted to be a professional speaker. That probably covered 2 or 3 years worth of practicing and whatever. I stayed for the people. I got into leadership and started working with people, and that becomes contagious.
Yeah. The skills are built, and now with this, with the depth of knowledge that we have, giving back and keeping um being able to be a mentor, a coach, a guide to keep
Yeah.
the standards high to contribute.
Yeah. Well, and the nice thing, because I love to travel, which was one of the reasons I joined, uh, now especially it's so easy because of the internet. Back when I first joined, I remember Doug King was our district governor in those days, and I was going to Australia like about 2 months or 3 months after I started. And so I said, I'm going to go here and here and here. Can you give me some clubs? So he had this, bound thing that was printed off with the clubs and some phone numbers and stuff. And so I wrote some of them down and I phoned a few. One of them turned out to be Gavin Blakey in Brisbane, I think it was.
Yeah,
And
Brisbane.
so I didn't know him from a hole in the ground. And then he said, yeah, hi, yeah, yeah. Hi, Bob, who we have a Toastmaster. I'm coming to town and we got a place to stay. Well, come and stay at my house. And it took me to his club and actually gave up his speaking spot so I could do my number 5 speech at his club. And then he evaluated me,
Oh,
you know.
yes.
And he came years later when he was international president, he came to District 21. So I got to return the favor. I mean, that's the fun, you can reach out to people, say, like I did in Copenhagen. Hey, I'm coming to town. I'm going to be here, here, here. Do you want me to do something for you?
Yeah.
And sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. And Irene is really good with tagging along when I go do some Toastmaster thing, you know. She never once goes, "Oh, another Toastmaster thing." It's like we were in Hong Kong, and Derek Wong is a friend of mine, a past international director, and he actually works on the mainland. So we took the high-speed train, went over to where he works, spent the afternoon with him, and then went to his Toastmaster club. And Irene got picked to do table topics, and she won
Oh, nice.
in mainland China.
She's seen a topics or two in her time.
I tell you, she has, and she puts up with it. So, well, she enjoys it. She's basically an introvert, but she's good with people, and she supports me what I'm doing, just like I support her in what she's doing with her track and field and those kinds of things. So, but that's the kind of stuff that we find in Toastmasters is we've got these supportive people who are encouraging for us. You know, yourself being one of them. I mean, I have been fortunate to have you as a friend for many years, and I appreciate your both your wisdom and what you have to share.
I try.
And you do well, my friend. You do well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I guess I should remind people that Wild Rose, with the exception of once or twice a year, meets on the last Thursday of the month. And right now we're meeting in the Seville Center. We just moved to a new room because we outgrew the boardroom. We're going to be in the room close to the tennis court next to the bar. So our next meeting, although this probably won't go by then, the next meeting is August 29th. And we'll see you there. Come and hang out and spend some time with Ken and myself and some of our amazing people. Because Wild Rose is a great place to come and grow and spend some time.